Christmas is coming in Limerick, a city on Ireland's west coast. This year, after a 3-year wait, Bishop Brendan Leahy was made Bishop of the Diocese.
At a personal level, I suppose, I'm trying to live it in terms of this preparation for Christmas, which is, on the one hand, I feel our work and God's work. My work, I decided, look, I started at the beginning of Advent, go to confession, which was lovely. Said now I must increase in my love for people. I tried my best doing that. Fell flat on my face one day when I spoke rather harshly to somebody and realised, now I have to do another step, and that is to trust in God's mercy. That this can be a stressful time. I try to transform it by little things, like saying, for instance, before you do something, well, look, I'm doing this for you, Jesus.
In the midst of all the buying and selling, is it possible to bring back the true meaning of Christmas?
Well, I suppose the very fact that it is midwinter and people are trying to celebrate in some way, they put up loads of lights, they try to divert themselves, I suppose, from darkness. At the end of the day, we want to overcome darkness. We want to be people of light. And this is precisely what Christmas is actually about. And how do we get that light? Well, years ago, I don't know if you're familiar with this, but years ago when you cycled a bicycle, the more you cycled, the more the dynamo worked. Loving people is like the dynamo in our lives. Pope Francis, in his new pastoral letter, has a wonderful point where he says very often in our relationships, we ended up kind of mistrusting each other. Therefore, he says, let's unleash a revolution of tenderness.
Christmas can also be a very difficult time when people feel lonely and sad.
I have been with the families of prisoners. I've been with people who work with children who have had bereavement, and that's a very difficult moment for them. And I suppose for anybody who's going through a difficult moment, look, you're not on your own. That's the first thing. There's somebody around who could listen. A key for me is an image that Pope Francis himself uses of the parable of the prodigal son, where he says, when the son came back, the father ran to meet him, clasped him tenderly, had a big celebration. And the Pope says, notice, the father didn't say first and foremost, what did you do with the money? And here, then the Pope says, I'm sure a few days later, they got down to discuss things. And I think that's the point. The Pope wants us, as it were, to lift up above all the issues and the details. Let's get back to the basic message. God loves you immensely, and that you are unique for God. And God has a merciful, compassionate, abounding love for you.